What's up, YouTube? It's your boy ZTY Tune, back at you with another plant video. It's been a minute. It's been 7 months, I know, since I've dropped my last, maybe even 8 months since I've dropped my last plant video. I wanted to go ahead and do a quick plant tour, actually, real quick with you guys. Some things have gone, some things have come. So I want you to go, and some things have grown up, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's been 7-8 months. You know, a lot of things have gone crazy, as you can probably see from that banana going crazy in the background. Yeah, that banana is way up there. Pothos climbing the wall over here. Monster Deli's over here just going crazy. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into that. Let's just jump right into it. Let's go. So I thought I'd start the tour off with some older plants. Now, you guys might remember Bob from my very first video, my very first YouTube video on plants I ever did. You might remember Bob. Bob has been with me forever. Of course, he has gone, you know, a little bit crazier than, you know, normal, but he is definitely doing his thing. Bob has been with me like 4 years now. I've had Bob. It is a Dracenas corn plant, as most people would call this, know this by as a corn plant. Beautiful plant, easy plant. It's been my easiest plant out of all my plants. Like, it doesn't need much. It doesn't ask for much. It's doing, and it's like one of my biggest that I've had, like, you know, grown from small to big, minus, you know, the behemoths behind me. But this thing is just dope. I love this plant. I would definitely highly recommend a corn plant, Dracenas. Now, moving on, because we got quite a bit plants, so I'm kind of going to move this a little fast. We got quite a lot of plants. I have my pothos growing off out of the waterfall up onto this log up here. And I got some air plants on the log. And we have another one right here. And these are actually from the same cuttings as the giant one you'll see later on over there behind me. Beep. That one. It's actually the same cuttings. And you'll see the size difference. Look at the size difference from this one. See the size difference on these ones, and you'll see the difference on the ones later on. All right, next plant, we have my little Areca palm. It's my table palm. It's actually doing pretty well. It was having some problems for a while there, but after I got it home and it acclimated, obviously, you know, plants need to go through their acclimation stage. If you don't know, when you buy a plant, and as soon as you bring it home, like 99% of the time, it's going to have issues because it's acclimating. It's trying to get used to your temperatures, your humidities, your this, that, and the third. On the outside of these walls, it is 20 degrees right now. Okay, it's 44. Okay, it's 44 degrees right now outside. All right, 44 degrees. All right, the lowest this morning it was 10. So you see where we're at with it. The temperatures are low. It's cold outside. Humidity outside. Only 25% humidity outside. Excuse the thermometer, I need to do a new one. It's kind of messed up. It's humid in here, okay? Electronics get a little messed up in here sometimes, all right? It's a little humid in here. But it's 76 degrees in here, and humidity, 70% humidity in here, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get the point, you know what I'm saying? It is 50% more humid out in here than it is out there. And it is 30 degrees more hotter in here than it is out there. It is its own thing. All right, moving on, we got the fishtail palm. Fishtail palm looking good. She was having problems. I told you she had scale a while back, guys. Yes, can you believe? I said that in the last video. She was battling scale pretty hard. The scale was attaching itself to all the new fronds, not allowing the new fronds to come up, and it just completely messed up all this growth that was supposed to be in the middle right here. There's supposed to be like 8 fronds right here that the scales just kept messing up. So I had to, you know, I was trying to do it with the neem oil. That didn't work. Then I tried to hit it with the ladybugs. That didn't work because then I found out there was ants in the soil. The ants were basically helping the scale because the scale was there. The scale was producing the sticky stuff, the sticky sugary stuff. The ants were eating off that, protecting the scale. So when I released the ladybugs had no effect on it as well. So I had to break out the big guns. I had to go and get some heavy chemicals, which I wasn't about at first, but you know, I'm not eating none of this, first of all. And I never used heavy chemicals back in the day with my gardens because I mainly grew cannabis and I wasn't trying to smoke chemicals, if you know what I'm saying. So I always kept things natural, but I'm not eating or smoking any of these plants. So, you know, they can be hit with the big boys. So I had to, you know, in botanical gardens have to use, you know, chemicals as well to keep the pesticides at a minimum. Because I'm not saying I have a botanical garden, but you know, this is definitely more plants than your average house. So with that being said, I had to amp it up a little bit and get some pesticides, which helped because we now have about 7 or 8 new spikes coming out. See all these new spikes coming out. There's no bugs on any of the spikes. It is pest free and it is doing well. So watch this do a huge comeback. I'm gonna keep y'all updated with this, but it's gonna make a huge comeback. Comeback kit right here. I'm not giving up on that plant. Then you got the Dracenas. Used to be a Sansevieria. Fun fact, this is actually related to this over here than a Sansevieria. They actually put this in the Dracenas category and took it out of the Sansevieria category. So now snake plants are Dracenas, just so you know. This one's doing good. It's about 3.5 feet tall from the top of the pot to the top of the tallest frond or leaf or petal, whatever those are called. There's 2 that are down, and you just cut those and propagate those. I've just been kind of busy, but I'm gonna get on that soon. But yeah, easy plant. I got 2 of them. There's one is over there by the fish tanks. I'll show those in a minute. I'll show that one in a minute as well. But yeah, on to the next. We have I always want to say money tree. It's an umbrella plant. I got this just to kind of fill this area. I wasn't like, ooh, I want an umbrella plant, but like I liked it, and I was like, it's going to be perfect to fill this area. I'm gonna get another plant to sit down here to fill this area, so this is all filled too. But yeah, we just filling areas at this point. You know what I'm saying? I'm liking it. It's an easy plant. It's growing. It's doing its thing. Everything is gonna grow in here. The humidity is crazy. Then we have the bird of paradise sitting back here. Bird of paradise doing good. This was actually a rescue from Walmart. It wasn't doing good at all. It was looking very horrible. And I asked the lady, I said, yo, how much y'all want for that? And she was like, how much you want to pay for it? And I was like, $5. And she was like, it's yours. So I had to cut one of them off. Like one of them, like over here or something died. So now there's 2. There was 3, now there's 2. And then I cut some leaves off, and now it's doing good. That one popped out brand new. And there's a spike coming up right here. I don't know if you can see it from my camera. I don't know if I can even get to the spike. I don't know. There's a new spike coming up over here somewhere as well. But yeah, that one's doing its thing. Bird of paradise. Then you got the hibiscus. Hibiscus doing well. This hibiscus was grown way up here. It was way up to this other set of windows up here. And it was only shooting out leaves. And somebody told me that I found out that if you cut it back, it'll start growing out flowers because it's only trying to shoot out leaves because that's what it thinks it's supposed to do. So when you cut it back, it forces it to shoot out more buds for flowers. So I've noticed there's a couple more buds popping up now, and she is bouncing back. I cut her way back, and now she was brown. She was basically a stick with a few leaves on it, and now she's actually like a little tree again. So she's bouncing back. All right, onto this big beauty. We have this big bird of paradise now. This one was not a rescue. This one, I think I paid $120 for this about a year ago. And maybe, no, like less than that. I think it was actually like back in February. I paid $120 for this. Yeah, back in February. So it wasn't even that long ago. But this thing is huge. That's not it. That's an Alocasia. I'll get to that. But this thing, these fronds are huge compared to my hand. Like as you can see, these ones are not small. Hold on, let me get my little hand in there with these big old fronds. That one's even bigger. Like this one's even bigger, and this one from this frond is this one that's unraveling. And so that one, you know, is about to be super big right here. And it's got another frond right there, or another spike, I should say, right there. And there's another spike growing down there. And there's also that leaf that just popped out, and that leaf just popped open as well. So yeah, that thing, bird of paradise, going crazy. I highly recommend a bird of paradise if you can get you one. For shizo. On to the next plant. I guess from that, we'll go to the Alocasia Mayan Mask. Shooting out a new leaf right here. Nice big leaf. We got nice big leaves on this Mayan Mask. I have quite a few Mayan Mask Alocasias because I got 2 big plants, and those mother plants came with like 3 or 4 pups each. So I have quite a few Mayan Masks growing around the house, but this is one of them. This is my biggest one right here. All right, that brings us to the next plant, the coconut palm. I have 2 palms, 2 coconut palms, one right there, and if I can get in here, one right there. They're doing good. Let me see if I can get on this over top of it. It's hiding. It don't want to be seen right now. It's back there though. There's 2 coconut palms back there. I'm experimenting on them, seeing how they do. Obviously, I've heard they don't do good inside, so I don't have super high hopes on them, but they're back there, yeah. Yeah, hopefully I see some growth. I don't expect to ever see coconuts off those things unless I move to Florida and put them in ground. But indoors, I don't really expect to see coconuts or anything. I just hope to get some cool little palms. Next one after that, we already did the Mayan Mask, did all these. Next Alocasia. Let's go with the Stingray Alocasia right here. This was my second Alocasia, I want to say. Yeah, this was my second Alocasia. And as you can tell, these things are beautiful. You got the leopard / spotted stems, and they look just like little stingrays. This one broke this is when I first got the plant. When I first got it, he was coming out, so he kind of broke coming out. And then this one was coming out, and it broke coming out. So hopefully they stop breaking as they come out, and they start, look at that. That would have been so cool. But it broke. But hopefully they stop breaking now. There's 3 in this pot. There's the big mother. Then you got some babies, 1, 2 babies. So in a few months, I'm gonna go ahead and take those out, separate those, and just leave the mother by itself and separate the babies one by one. That way there's 2 babies and 1 mother. And yeah, but yeah, this thing's going crazy. You got this one way over here, then you got one back there as well. I can't even see that. You got one back there. So this thing has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fronds, 6 petals, 6 leaves on it. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 leaves on it, which is pretty good for our Alocasia. Normally they have around like 7 to 3. That's normal. 7 to 3, sometimes even 2, sometimes even 1. Do we get a little baby? Do we got a little baby coming out? Do we see? No, I don't see no babies. Oh, I don't see no babies, no. But she's doing good though. Loving that Alocasia. All right, the next one, the Cana Lilly. Cana Lilly looking beautiful in full bloom all the way. All 3 heads are all in bloom. She's looking beautiful. As soon as those are not in bloom no more, I'm gonna cut it all back, and we'll have some new ones coming up probably around January. We'll have some new ones sprouted. Next plant, let's go down here. Let's move this guy out the way. We have a rabbit's foot fern. I love little rabbit's foot fern just because it's got the little rabbit's foot coming out. Now, a lot of people don't know about the rabbit's foot fern. Rabbit's foot fern, the reason I like this little fern so much is because it's got the little rabbit's foot coming out, the little rabbit feeties coming out. As you can see, you probably can't see. A guy tried to sell me a little Boston fern, which is down there, as a rabbit's foot fern, but I'm like, nah, it's not a rabbit's foot fern. So I went and found this literally at King Supers. It is so cool. That's what the fiddles grow off of. The fiddles actually grow off of the little rabbit's foots, those little white things you see. And those grow and spread on top of the roots, on top of the soil. Those spread on top of the soil. It sends roots down from the bottom of those, and from the top of those, that's where it sends little fiddles up to create the fern head. So yeah, it's a pretty cool, unique little fern. I love it. I also have one in one of my fish tanks. You'll see that soon. So the next one I'm going to show you, the 2 Philodendrons. They're nothing too special. This is the Imperial. The Imperial is actually pretty special. It's pretty big sitting down here. I don't know if you see how big this Imperial is, but that Imperial is pretty freaking green and big. And this is either the Congo or, I'm pretty sure it's a Congo actually. Correct me in the comments if I'm not right about that, but I'm pretty sure that's a Congo. Those are my only 2 Philodendrons I have right now. I'm trying to get either Florida green or a golden dragon. Those are my 2 on my wish list right now. So hopefully I get those within the next 2 months. Let's get on to the big boy right here. We ain't talked about the big boy. The sun's going down and he's getting a little harder to see. But this is the big boy. This is a Dwarf Cavendish, standing about, I don't know, easily probably around 15 feet tall, 14 feet tall easily from the top of the pot. Now a lot of people will measure from the top of the pot to that part, from bananas to the crown, this part right here. Bloop. But that's when it's outdoors. I feel like when it's indoors, you shouldn't measure to that because obviously you have all of this to account for when you're indoors. Outdoors, you're not accounting for all of this. You're like, it doesn't matter outdoors, you know what I'm saying? Because the sky's the limit. Indoor, your ceiling's the limit, or in my case, the ceiling fan's the limit. So I measure from the top of the pot to the top of the top leaf, and that's about 15 feet, 14 feet, 14 feet easily. But that is a big, like, I don't know if you've seen this thing and me, like, it is Not a small tree at all. It is not, well, it's not a tree, it's a banana plant. It's a plant. But that is a big plant in the house. I got it when it was a baby. It sat in the front seat of my car, my coupe, and now it couldn't get out the sliding door, let alone the front door. So here's for reference, there's my front door. And there's a banana. So yeah, I'm hoping this thing pushes out bananas within the next couple months so I can have bananas. It is winter time, but this is a south-facing window, and those are east-facing up there. So I get all day. I can see the sun come up over there. It goes all the way that way. So this gets, even though it's winter, it is summertime in here for show. For shit show. All right, next plant. Got to keep moving fast. We have the Fiddle Leaf Fig. Fiddle Leaf Fig doing good. It's going all the way up here. Bloop. What's up? But yeah, Fiddle Leaf Fig is just doing amazing. It's doing its thing. They're pretty easy as well. Yeah, I can't say too much about the Fiddle Leaf Fig. Y'all know about Fiddle Leaf Figs. This is Gardenia. It's not doing so hot right now. This is why it's not hot. This is why it's not hot. Don't judge me. But yeah, this Gardenia is honestly like irritating me. I've been trying to keep this thing going for like the past 2 years, and it just keeps having issues, keeps getting pests. I don't know what to keep doing about this. If you guys have any ideas on Gardenia, I don't know. It's kind of getting on. I'm struggling on keeping to fight that fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm struggling to fight that fight. Anyways, let's move it on. Dracenas back here, not doing good as well. Like, even though we got a lot of tons of lush greenery and everything, you know what I'm saying? Some plants just don't do great. I'm not the best with all plants. Any plant person would tell you they kill a lot of plants as well as they have a lot of good plants, but I don't know what's going on with this Dracenas. It is just not doing good. I haven't watered it in forever, and it still says there's water in the bottom of the pot. So I don't know what's going on with this thing. If anybody's got any ideas, let me know what y'all think. There's no pest on it or anything. It's just wigging the hell out. Like, it is just crispy toms. But yeah, that's that one. Then we got the cat palms. Cat palms. Now, if you're gonna, I'm gonna tell people with palms right now in their house. If you're a palm tree owner and you're complaining about brown tips on some of your fronds, like obviously not all, if all your fronds are doing it, then you might have a problem. But if you got some fronds where it just has, that's okay. If you go to Florida and look at a palm trees have brown tips. The most healthiest palm trees you'll see have leaves with brown tips on it. I don't know what it is. It's just natures of palm trees. Like, you'll see palm trees with perfect fronds on it, and then you'll see them with some scorchies, with some little scorches, you dig? I don't know. I don't get it. It's just palm trees. It's what they do. Like, don't be so mad when, you know, your fronds turn a little, but it's fine. That's natural. Let your palm, as long as your palm tree is happy, as long as it's sending out new shoots, new spikes, it's opening, it's doing its thing. Now, cat palms are a little slower than normal. Well, actually, a lot of palms are pretty slow. But cat palms are on the slower side of the palms. So don't expect a whole bunch. Like, this one just popped open, took forever for that one to pop over. This one just popped open, took forever. This one just popped open over here, took forever. But, you know, it takes like a minute. And if you go back, I had to like calm myself down because I was like, is this thing growing? And I went and looked at old photos of it. And when I looked at old photos on this side, none of, like, these three weren't here. It was just this one and this one right here. It was just these two. So all those are new. So I was like, oh, this thing really is like doing its thing. Like, it's happy. It's shooting out new leaves when it's wanting to. It's happy. Like, look at all these new leaves down here. Looking gorgeous. So yeah, just keep your palms happy. It's okay if it gets brown tippy tips. That's normal for the palms to get brown tippy tips. It happens, guys. But yeah, cat palms, 2 of them, they look beautiful. I highly recommend a cat palm. I do not recommend Majestic palms. Majestic palms are trash. I had Majestic palms for, longest I had Majestic palm was like a year. I've had these 2 cat palms for 6 months, and all they've done is grow. My other ones always, as soon as I got them in here, Majestics always declined. As soon as I got them in here, declined. These ones are growing, and they're just doing their thing. They're happy. I can tell they're happy. They're not doing anything weird like the Majestics were. Like, these are happy. So I highly recommend cat palms. On to the next one. We got this. Most people would think this is a Boston fern. No, this is a Macho fern. Do you see how big that is? Like a Boston fern is tiny compared to this. Like if you said Boston fern in front of this guy, he might look at you and want to smack you. This is a macho fern. He's macho. You see how macho these are? Look how big these macho ferns are. These are those ferns you see in Jurassic Park. You might see a velociraptor pop up behind one of those, like whoa, 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 whoa. Like whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, it's the real jungle around here. But yeah, we got the macho ferns. I love the macho ferns. Not much to say about the macho ferns. Just keep them happy, keep them moist. Yeah, as soon as I brought them in, they dropped fronds as soon as I moved them in. But you can see there's not too many fronds down here no more. Ah, don't get caught all up in the frond, dang it. But yeah, you can see there's not too many fronds down here. And this one's actually doing something crazy. On the tip of this one, it sent out a runner. It sent out a runner seed on the tip of this one, which was trying to shoot out a fiddle. So it's got roots on it too, so I need to plant that. And probably this one down here too. There's another one. There's two of them. I need to plant this one and this one. And those will be brand new macho ferns. But yeah, moving on. We got the variegated ficus. Got the variegated ficus. I got this a few weeks ago. And this happened when I was on travel, but it's okay because it's shooting out this new one. That's brand new. That was not there when I first got it. When I first got it, it had like a little pink thing like that. But now it's got, that one's actually developing. So I can't be happier. Next couple, we got a Regal. My Regal Alocasia. Alocasia Regal Shield. I love the Regal Shield. Now, some people might get them confused because I got both of them. You have a Regal Shield, and don't mind the holes. Yes, there's holes. I got this probably like a month or two ago as well. And no, I got it a month ago, sorry. Like 3 weeks ago. And these were the leaves it came with in transit. Obviously, it didn't ship too good. Something happened with these leaves in transit. But if I move this leaf right here, hold on. I'm trying to grab my hair and move that at the same time. You can see it's got a baby. We got a baby growing. So, baby about to sprout out of there. And hopefully in about a month or two, these two won't even be here. You won't even see these no more because they have bigger ones and more beautiful. Now, like I was saying, people would get these confused. The Regal Shield, the Regal Shield has purple bottoms but green veins. Green veins and purple bottoms. The Mayan Mask has all purple bottoms. See the difference? All purple veins, all purple bottoms. That's a Mayan Mask. That's a Regal Shield. So yeah, this is my Mayan Mask. As you can tell, this is one of my favorites. Then we got another Alocasia. The name never wants to roll off my tongue. Calatheas? I don't know. I'll put the name on the bottom of the screen as well, so all the other ones that I'm not saying right. But that's what this Alocasia is. It's pretty big. It goes from over here. It stretches from that one all the way over to this one. So it's a pretty cool and big Alocasia. I didn't think it was an Alocasia when I first seen it because it looked kind of like a anthurium a little bit because of the heart-shaped, or a philodendron. But it's an Alocasia. It's an Alocasia just like this guy. And then you got, let's stick with the Alocasias real quick. You got the Poly or the Amazonica. And I got this one not too long ago as well. And she's bouncing back. She's doing her thing. Give me a couple months on an update video on all my Alocasias. They'll be doing a lot better. As well as the Silver Dragon. Picked this one up for not too much. And it wasn't doing the best. But when I picked it up, it didn't have nothing in the middle. And I was like, no, it's all dying. But it sprouted out this new leaf for me a couple days ago. And it's starting to harden up and getting bigger. So I'm happy with it. So give me a few months on that one as well, and she's going to be big and beautiful. Moving on to the next Alocasia, we have the Black Velvet. As you see, there's some spray dots on there. That's because I've sprayed all my plants recently. I've given them all a good spray. Yeah, I got it with this one. I got it with this leaf on there. It was coming out. It doesn't look like it's going to do too good, so I'll probably end up cutting it off and just waiting for this new one that's just started popping out. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a new one down there as well that just started popping out. So we're gonna be good on all. We're gonna be good on the ones that weren't doing good. They're all bouncing back. Down, this is the why am I having problems saying these names right now? Clementia. I'm gonna put it on the screen as well. But it's a pretty plant. I'm kind of getting into these. I guess they call these the prayer plants. This isn't one of them, but I guess this comes from the family of them, or if I'm not right on that, correct me in the comments. But this one obviously wasn't doing too great, but this new leaf unfurled and is doing great, and it's got this giant baby coming out right here, and it's got a new baby down there as well. If you can see that new baby down there in the soil popping out. I need to cut that yellow leaf off. But I like it. I like the texture on this plant. It's nice. It's like velvet. It's nice, and the bottoms are purple. I like purple bottoms. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I like plants with purple bottoms. That's like a theme around here is purple bottoms. Yeah, so that's what I be liking. That's just what I be liking. Anything else that I'm forgetting over here? Did the silver dragon, did the black velvet, did that. Oh, the Monsteras. So I got 3 Monsteras. I said I had 2 Monsteras, but I got 3 Monsteras now that I think about it, because I have this Monstera down here. Now it sent out this brand new baby for me just the other day, and it's unfurling. Sending out this new baby right here for me. It's unfurling, and I just got this probably like 3 weeks as well. I got this one, the Amazonica, the 2 Alocasias right there, and the Regal Shield, and the Variegated Ficus, all at the same day. So, yes, sir. You guys are going to see a mad update on those soon, because those are going to be going crazy. And when they start pupping out, I'm going to start having little pups and a whole bunch of other little plants, and I'll probably put up some up for sale. Yeah, probably give some away, too, for some YouTube giveaways. Yeah. Got the coconuts down there, the coconuts. All right. Coming over here so we can hurry this tour up, because I'm getting tired and it's getting dark. My lemon tree. I started this from seed. It accidentally started growing. Ow, I forgot to lemon and I forgot it's got spikes. Ow, I just stabbed myself. I planted it, or I didn't plant it. Let's see. I was watering one of my plants over there with lemon water, and I had to squeeze the fresh lemon in the water, and the seeds fell in the water, which when I watered the plant, it started growing out of one of those plants over there, so I took it out. Once I noticed it was probably like pretty big. It was like this big and like growing like really nicely. And I was like, I can't kill that. So I've been letting it go, and this is my lemon tree. It smells so good. I love the smell of lemon trees in the morning. They smell good. It smells just like lemon. Monsteras. Let's get over here to the Monsteras real quick. Let's actually go with the Monstera Peru first. This is the Monstera Peru. Got this about a week ago, and 1 week ago it didn't have that little, let me get underneath here. That little new growth right there. It didn't have that little new growth, but now it's got that little new growth, and it's doing good. It's liking this spot. I like it in this spot because it goes next to the swamp-themed fish tank right here. This is the swamp-themed fish tank. This is the Amazon-themed fish tank, which there are tons of plants, live plants in here too. Tons of live plants. You have, let me just name a few. You got the lotus. I love this, the tiger lotus. That is one of my favorites in here. Sword out over there. A Philodendron right there, the purple one. You got a Nubius back there, somewhere back there. This is a Nubius. There's a fern. There's a water fern back there. African water ferns. Dwarf hairgrass. You got shrimp. You got blue neon tetras in here. You got red ember tetras. And you got rasboras. Look at that. Look at that lotus. That lotus leaf is beautiful. Oh, and you got crypts right here too. Crypts on the side growing. And then you got red blood tetras in here. And you also got white clouds in here. And a whole bunch of just random different plants. Same plants that are over there, the other one are in here. Except for the giant Anubias, there's a giant Anubias in that one too. Which those leaves right there are starting to come this way, and it's actually starting to look really cool. Those are all new green leaves right there in the middle. All those leaves right there, those are all brand new leaves coming up. Those are nice. They look really good right there. And then you got the Aquascape, which has Monte Carlo, S Repens, baby teargrass over here. And you got Java moss, and the moss started creeping up there. I didn't plant that moss up there. The moss started creeping up there, and it went up there. And you got a blue shrimp. You see a blue shrimp right there? You got blue shrimp in here, and then white clouds. There's like 6 blue shrimp right now, but hopefully they're mating. There's some shrimp in here too, but they're just some regular brown shrimp. But yeah. And then you got the Monsteras on top. Monsteras growing out of the fish tanks. Monstera Delacosa. I just call it Monster Deli. They're huge, as you can see. These are just your store-bought ones. These are your typical store-bought ones. But as you can see, with my care, they get pretty freaking big. Like, they're becoming the giant Monsteras. These ones typically, these aren't the giant Monsteras. These are just known to be kind of the smaller ones. But in my care, these ones are actually kind of starting to become the giant Monsteras. Like, look at the size of this leaf up here. This leaf is bigger. This is the biggest leaf. And I can't even get to it. But this one's going crazy. My Monstera's going crazy. I think my Monstera's going crazy. There's probably a new bloom somewhere that I'm not seeing. These ones are brand new. These ones just popped out. As you can tell, because they're angled down and they're not up. This one's a newer one. You can tell because it's down, not up. And this one's a newer one, but it went up not too long ago. These ones, that one's doing crazy. This one's doing all right too. And that one's doing the least best out of all of them, but I think that's because it was by the window. And I've just taped this window off. That's a new tip for y'all. If you're getting a little breeze through your windows or your sliding glasses, just tape it. Throw some tape down, all the way down, and then throw a little blanket down at the bottom of it to keep the things from coming in. You Gucci, little towel. You Gucci. And then the last plant on the tour list is one of my star achievements. Look at this pothos. So this pothos started out, look how small this pothos is. This pothos is this small, and you can see it going back there, binding up that way, this way, that way, that way. And it just gets bigger and more variegated until you get spots. Obviously this is burnt because of the light, but it starts getting variegated, super variegated, super variegated. Oh, look at the variegations of that one. It is beautiful. And then the sizing of these, I can't get up there all the way, but the sizings, I'll put a picture. Hold on, let me see if I can get this up there more. I'll put a picture of this compared to my finger, but these pothos are huge. Ridiculously huge, ridiculous. Like, look at the variegations on that. Like, look at the size of that versus that. Like, you see the size there? Like, look at that. That is crazy huge and crazy beautiful. Look at the colors on that. My God, that is a beautiful plant. And I don't know how I did that. Well, obviously I do. I know how I did it because it got light, it got heat, it got proper nutrition from the fish tank because it's coming out of the fish tank. It's coming out of the fish tank. It is literally coming out of the roots are in the fish tank, and it is growing just straight off of fish tank love. And that's how you get a beautiful variegated pothos. That pothos is crazy. Like, I wish, like, the size of this, you can see compared to my hand, is crazy. Like, this, the small one right here, small one in my hand, like, it's dinky. And then you can see this one, which is still super small compared to this one and that one up there. And it's got a new one growing out. As you see the roots growing, attaching itself to the wall. And the vine is super thick itself. Look how thick that vine is. So yeah, this pothos is doing its thing. All right, well, that's it for the plant tour. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I'm going to be dropping more plant videos more frequently. I'm going to be putting them in a playlist. That way my plant videos are in a certain playlist and my music videos are in another playlist and things like that. I want to keep everything on one YouTube. I was going to split it up, but I want to keep everything on one YouTube. That way everybody can get all of me in one YouTube because I already have too many IGs and stuff like that. So if you guys want to go ahead and follow me on IG, speaking of, it is at ZTY Tune or ZTY Palm Care. ZTY Palm Care is the one where it's my plant channel. ZTY Tune is my personal one, but go ahead and follow that ZTY Palm Care. Like I said, like, subscribe, go ahead and hit that ringer. That way you're updated every time I drop a new video. I'm going to be dropping new videos once a week now. Good talking to you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you next time. Peace. So I don't know what happened to the audio on this, but as I was editing this video, I got a notification on Facebook that somebody was wanting to trade a palm for some plants, and I was like, oh heck yeah. So I went ahead and sent them pictures of my Dracenas, my snake plants, and they said, oh heck yeah. So I definitely don't mind trading snake plants, which I kind of like, for a palm that I really like. You guys know this channel is called ZTY Palm Care, you know, so trying to find palms like this in Colorado, it's either going to be hitting me for a premium or I'm just not finding them. So the fact that somebody wanted to trade something that I really kind of like, it's not that I didn't care for my snake plants, but, you know, it's not a palm, you know. Obviously, it's not a giant plant. So, yeah, just look at this. Just look at it. You know, it's going crazy. But, all right, I appreciate you guys checking this out, and I'll hit you up with a new update soon. Peace.